Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Till today in this world we are facing the problem of racism. The difference between the black and the white still prevails in this world. Back a few years ago, we also witnessed one of the movement all over the world started from America, the Black Lives Matters. Because of the suppression of the white people towards the black people. The difference between the black and the white people is still prevail in this world right now also. I don't know when this racism, the difference between this white and the black people will completely end. Today we are going to study a poem. It is mainly based on the theme racism. The difference between the black and the white. The poem is known as I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and that is written by Maya Angelou. Before study the poem, let's know something about the poet Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was an Afro-American or African American. From her own experience into her own life, she wrote the poem. She suffered a lot as a black people. So we are going to study the poem. Let's first discuss about the theme of the poem. Here the main theme of the poem is the difference of life between the two birds. One is free bird and one is a caged bird, which was clipped and its feet were tied. So the difference between a free bird and a caged bird is the main theme of the poem. On the one hand, the free bird enjoys everything in this world, in this nature. It can move any part of the world. And on the other hand, the caged bird, which was tied and clipped, could not enjoy the freedom of the free bird. So this is the main summary or main theme of the poem, the life difference between a free bird and a caged bird, the facilities and the enjoys that the free bird had, and on the other hand the caged bird which could not enjoy as much as the free bird. Its dreams and all the happiness were gripped in the cage. That is the main theme of the poem. Let's study the text of the poem. The poem has 6 stanzas. Let's start with the first stanzas. A free bird lives on the back of the wind and flows downstream till the current ends. The first stanza deals with the free birds. A free bird lives on the back of the wind. That means the free bird can fly any part of the world with the help of the wind. It can flow downstreams, upstreams, upward, downwards, in the air, in the seas, near the trees, every part of the world. And dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. Even the free bird can reach to the sun if it wanted. It has a complete independence or complete freedom to go any part of the world, even to the near to the sun, and it can dares that the sun is her or his. There was no one to contest his freedom. The first stanza deals with the freedom of the free bird. Let's come to the second stanza. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bar of rage. On the other hand, second stanza deals with the life of the caged bird. What is the condition of the caged bird? A bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. Bars of rage. Here, a bird that stalks down his narrow cage. The narrow cage means a restriction on the life of the caged bird. The narrow cage means the restrictions put on the life of the caged bird. That means the caged bird which only can see the world from his narrow cage. As his his wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. As his wings are clipped and his feet, because his wings are clipped and feet are tied. So he has opened his throat to sing, but he has the only one weapon, that is his throat. So he sings, and through his singing he wanted to tell the world what is the actual condition of his life. Then come to the third stanza. The cage bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown. Nervously. Here, the trill means to produce sound in an unsteady way, especially because you are afraid and nervous. That means though the cage bird was singing, but he was afraid and also nervous. So he was singing about the unknown things, and he but longed for still, and he also wanted to know about the world, and he wanted freedom. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. And his singing and his voice heard from the top of the hills and distant hills, far away from the hills, for the cage bird sings of freedom, because the cage bird singing for her freedom, for his freedom. So his singing was heard from far away from the top of the hills, as he was singing for his freedom. Number 4 stanza. The free bird thinks of another breeze. Here again the fourth stanza discusses about the life of the freedom of the free bird. The free bird thinks of another breeze. That means the free bird enjoys also another breeze, another direction. He wanted to go there. There is no contest. He can go any part of the world. He can change his directions. And the trade wind soft through the shining trees. When he was flying to the another breeze, the soft wind that passes through the breeze, passes through the trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky's own. The fat worms are referred as the food of the free birds that are waiting of the sunrise at the lawn for the free birds of the consumption. And he names the sky of his own, and the free birds names the whole sky of his own. He was the owner of this sky. He can go anywhere, any part of the sky. There is no restriction, no bondage. There is no contest of this free bird. He was completely free. Number 5 stanza. Again, number 5 stanza discusses about the condition, the painful condition of the cage bird. But a cage bird stands on the gap of dreams. But the cage bird's dreams are all shattered or died, and the cage referred as the grave. That means all his dreams and all his wishes are dead and graved in the cage. His shadow shouts on a night scream. His condition is very painful. Even his cries are referred as the screaming after having a night scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. As he was locked under a cage, and his wings are clipped and is tied, and his feet are tied. So there is one weapon, there is a throat, and he uses this weapon to sing, and he also singing to let us know that he also wanted freedom. He also wanted to know about the unknown things, all other things that the free bird enjoys. Let's come to the last stanza. Again, this stanza also discusses about the condition of the cage bird. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill. That means the cage bird sings, though it sings, but there is a nervousness. There is a fear of things unknown but longed for still. And he sings for unknown things, but he also wanted the freedom like the free bird. And his tune is heard on the distant hill. And his singing, his song, his tune, his voice is heard far away from the top of the hill. For the cage bird sings of freedom, as the cage bird sings of his freedom. And he wanted to let us know that he also wanted freedom like the free bird. This is the text of the poem, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. So we can say that is the main theme of the poem is the difference between a cage bird and the free bird. Here the cage bird symbolizes the black people, the Afro-American people, and the free bird refers or symbolizes the white American people or the white people. The difference between these two birds also shows us the difference of the black and the white people in this world. Let's talk about some important figure of speech from this poem. Number one, that is alliteration. What do you mean by alliteration? The same word or the same letter of words when repeated in a sentence, maybe one time, two times or three times repeated, that is the called alliteration. Number one example, can seldom see through. Can seldom see through. Here this word seldom and see. From this word the letter S and this word S are repeated, are used in two words. That means the word S repeated. So this is an example of alliteration. Number two, the fair homes waiting on dawn bright lawns. Here the word homes and waiting. It is W and W also repeated again two times. So these are also example of alliteration. Next come to the personification. What do you mean by personification? When some qualities which actually belongs to the human beings are referred or used by some natural elements or any abstract ideas, then this is called personification. That means when some abstract ideas or natural objects uses the quality of human beings, then we can say the figure of speech is personification. Number one example, his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. Here shouts is a quality that is actually related to the human beings. But here, who shouts? His shadows. Shadows, it is a natural object or idea. So here the quality of human beings are referred or used by a natural object, by abstract ideas. So this is an example of personification. Number two example, the sailing bird rides on the back of the wind. The sailing bird rides on the back of the wind. Rides, here the quality, rides. This quality is actually refers to the human beings, but here, who rides? The sailing bird and a natural element and natural object. The quality of human beings are used by a natural object or an abstract idea, that is called personification. Here the rides, the quality of human being is used for the natural things or objects or sailing birds. So this is an example of personification. Comes to the third figure of speech, that is metaphor. Cage bird. What is metaphor? As we know, the simile is made when a direct comparison is made between two elements or two objects, two things. This is called simile. But when a comparison is made not in a direct way but in an indirect way, that means when implied comparison is made between two objects or two things, that is called metaphor. We have to think deeply to understand the two things between whom the comparison is actually made. That is called metaphor. Here the metaphor is the cage bird. Here cage bird refers to whom? The cage bird refers to the black people, the Afro-American people, the black people of this world. So we have to think deeply that cage bird refers to whom? The Afro-American people. There is not direct comparison made in this word or this sentence or these phrases. So indirect comparison is made, that is called metaphor. Number 4, hyperbole. What do you mean by hyperbole? To exaggerate something. To exaggerate something to giving more importance. So hyperbole means when you use something to give more importance, or when you exaggerate something to giving more importance, that is called hyperbole. What is the example of hyperbole used in this poem? Number 1, and dares to claim the sky. That means here the quality, here it is talk about the free birds. And he has the power, he has the confidence, or he can dare to claim the sky. How it is possible? One cannot claim that the sky is mine, the whole sky is mine. So to give more importance, this line has been made. So, and dares to claim the sky, no one can claim the sky. To give more importance, this line has been used. So this line shows that more exaggeration, and it is used to giving more importance, that the free bird can even claims that the whole sky is mine. The example of hyperbole. Number 2, and he named the sky his own. And also example of hyperbole. To giving more importance, this line has been made that the free bird can free bird can named the whole sky is mine. This is mine. One cannot claim that the whole sky is mine. That this sky is mine only. One cannot tell this. So giving more importance, to give more exaggeration, this line has been made. So this is an example of hyperbole. So this is the important figure of speech from this poem, and this is the complete text and summary and main theme of the poem. So keep studying and keep learning. Take care.